a little bit of a getaway right here.
A little bit. Even at that, it's like they break in, they fuck up canvases, there's paint everywhere. Oh my God. But no. Pleased to meet you anyway.
Yeah, no, this is great. Should I fix this right here?
No, that's fucked. I gotta get a conductor box. It'll the two mics, because they're digital mics.
I see.
I had them working and now they're not working. The brother David would be more of a wizard with computers than I am.
So you have to phone him.
But I have to get a box. I get this box. I think it's about, I know it's a chunk of change. I put the two boys into the box and then one lead into the laptop. And then I can create two channels. It'll just help the computer identify that there's two microphones.
Okay.
I don't know when I plug the two of them in that it doesn't get it, like.
Yeah.
Stupid fucking computer.
Still going through the motions.
Oh, I said I'm going to do, if I do 100 of them,
yeah,
then I should be a bit wiser. And I should know, because I'd force gump my way through it all, and I register the mistakes. And
okay.
I said, fuck, I got to figure that one out.
So you're through the mid-50s now? Or?
This is like 53.
53.
But it's only about 20 episodes ago I started using microphones at all. It's just the phone up until then. I tried to listen to one back at work the other day, and it annoyed me immensely. I was like, this sounded shocking.
You touch up my bird.
No one touched up the bird. The bird it's dry now. That's the only thing.
Alright.
That was an oils like.
Yeah, that's sweet.
I thought it was redder than that.
No, Tom.
Right.
Maybe your eyes
I just don't like you when that my paintings, like, you know?
Yeah, well, look, buy a fucking cup.
Bad copy. Yeah. No, I like that one too.
Yeah.
Size.
I'm seeking out options for like merch.
Yeah.
You know, not to sell or give away, but you know, when people come in, like yourself coming in today, and I'd say, look here, have a nice hoodie.
Of course.
And there'd be like the fucking painting would be on the hoodie with the print like this.
Yeah.
Or a mug or something, you know what I mean?
No, this is great.
I mean, these are samples, but I don't like how small they are.
Yeah.
For what you pay for them, you don't get much bang for your buck, like.
Yeah, it's double-sided, but I know what you mean.
So, yeah, I like the wraparound.
Well, I think, I don't like the Blackbird over the Blackbird.
Yeah, it works, but not in that scale or that quality print. If the print was clear, it would work.
I like the picture as is.
Well,
unadulterated.
Well, admire it from there and be happy.
Hanging in my sunroom.
Yeah. No, I think these are good, but it's just a sample, so you didn't order a ton of them, right?
Fuck no, I'm not ordering a ton of shit till I have like 100 episodes down. Then I know, because I didn't have to look into marketing, because I'm not going to just sit on 100 episodes, and if I'm going further, I have to have a plan.
Yeah.
A marketing plan.
Of course.
Because they're like, I check into this shit, all these fuckers on YouTube, like, this is what you gotta do.
Yeah.
You gotta know your audience.
Of course.
I don't know my audience. I don't even know who I am. Fuck off.
Yeah.
So it's like, right, that makes no sense to me. So I'm going to go figure it out myself. So just create your own path and fucking plow on.
Yeah.
When I get it done, then I'll just keep doing what I'm doing and hopefully just find new platforms to land it on.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Once that's on, then it's just like fucking throwing hooks in the water.
Yeah, you're
and
still...
if someone bites, then...
Yeah, you're still making a brand in a way.
Oh, 100%.
So
just baby steps.
Yeah, you find your identity and
100%.
Then you can kick on.
I mean, even topically, Tom was only bitching about it the other day. He goes, how can you go from art to fucking kayaking to fucking archery? No, it's all archery. Then it'll be all art. Like, well, fuck off. That's the way it is.
Yeah, you have different passions that
you know what I mean? I'm sure there'll be something else that'll come along. I hope.
Yeah.
You gotta mix it up.
Yeah, you gotta live for something.
Like we went to that archery competition.
I'm not here.
We went to an archery competition there last Sunday, myself and the brother, down in Wexford.
Yeah.
And we thought it was an hour away. It turns out it was 2 hours away. But we took off at dark o'clock in the morning, and I decided, you know what, I'm gonna fucking... I see this Jack Willink guy, the American Marine. He was on the Joe Rogan, and he's always doing his... showing you his watch on Twitter or Instagram. It's 4 a.m. Why are you not up? You're crazy. I just got to bed. But he's up doing weights and shit and then going surfing. He's a doer.
Yeah, those guys are intense for sure. You have to be. You have to
be. Look, they're crazy. But it's just to give you an idea, it popped into my head we're getting into the car because I was like, what time is it? 7 a.m. I'm getting into a fucking car. On a Sunday, my only day off.
Yeah.
So I started making little snippets of the drive there and while we're in there shooting. And I thought, I'll just fucking throw that up.
Yeah.
Because, to be honest, I was lazy and I was thinking, I'll pretend it's a podcast and throw it up there. But it wasn't good enough. But it was good enough for like a trailer.
Yeah. And it's good to have a little snippet, like you said. It's content. You keep adding to the...
Apparently, the more you put up, but I'm like, I'm fucking busy. I've got naps to catch up on.
Of course. I took a nap today.
I haven't.
And it was great.
I wish I fucking did.
I did. Yeah.
But there's loads of... I think you got to take stock every day. It used to be I'd take stock at the end of every month, but every day now I have to say, stop.
Yeah.
Just shut down and do nothing. You got to do nothing. Sometimes you got to do absolutely nothing.
Yeah, it's good for your headspace too. I think you got to kind of chill and just take a moment to yourself to enjoy everything else too.
If you look at the way we've been in the world with the last 3 years, we'd say there's been a mental fuck to the people.
Yeah.
And just because that thing has passed, it hasn't. It's stained. And there's repercussions and people aren't fucking being told truths about a lot of serious things. And I think a lot of people are dealing with a lot of stuff subconsciously. Mm-hmm. And it affects their waking moment.
And you're talking about the world as a whole or here?
Oh, the world as a whole.
Yeah, I agree.
It's just, different degrees.
It is.
Because, I mean, you just have to look across the world. Mm-hmm. I mean, you see nothing in the news about what's going on with all the farmers.
No.
So there's an agenda immediately there. If the media is shut down and they're meant to be the last fucking line of defence for the people, and they're compromised, so there's something afoot.
Yeah.
So it's like, go practice your fucking shooting.
Yeah.
And wait for the day.
Yeah, they show you what they want, and they want you to see and pick up on. There's plenty that goes missed, and it is scary because, like you said.
But you're from America. You're from Kentucky.
I'm from Kentucky. Yeah.
And I mean, you got some crazy areas over there, no?
Oh, man.
You got the extremes, like.
It's extremes. Like, we've been talking about it some. It's crazy, like, in America. I didn't realize how big it was as a country. Like, just being oblivious, because I've never been anywhere else, really.
Yeah.
That's outside the U.S., so... I think I heard a stat, like, we have a border state. It's Indiana is the state's name. And apparently Ireland is about the same size. So that kind of put it all into perspective. But
it's a huge continent.
It is. It is. But it's been cool to be here and then realize, like, hey, you can go so many places from here that you think about.
Well, I think everybody should leave, even if it's a 2-week fucking holiday somewhere. Get out of your fucking geography and get into someone else's geography.
Yeah.
And just have a good look around.
Yeah.
You need to mess up your perspective. But then I can see where a lot of people who, for whatever reason, can't leave, but they have internet. Mm-hmm. And they go everywhere in that kind of realm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And in a weird kind of way, they'd have a good argument if they said it's just as good.
Yeah, and I'm guilty of it too. I kind of have my realm. I play video games. I think my generation kind of grew up with video games that were pretty enhanced and fun. So you like almost enter this realm, and you're playing Call of Duty, and you're in war, and you're playing with 6 of your buddies, and you're in a chat, and you can kind of
just... It's a different reality.
It is, and I think it's fun for us because we can decompress that way, but also communicate with our friends and do things. But it's a good switch up, and it's also cheap for the most part.
Well... Everything can be as cheap as you want it to be, I suppose. It just depends on how naughty you want to be.
Fair enough, yeah.
But it's a pickle. The way, I mean, I can't talk to... I had a nephew of mine was actually started... He was here when I started to do the whole podcast thing, and I was going to call it the arts... I did call it the art studio. The whole premise being it would be about art and talking to artists.
Yeah.
But that fell apart very quickly because none of the cunts would come in. I'm not going in there, there's camera, forget it. And they just don't want to talk. But so I just changed it at 20 and said, fuck it, I'll open it. So it's vague. Yeah. So anyone who might want to... So we've actually people come in talking, and it's just loads of different people, and it's better. But back to the nephew being of that age, I don't know what age is he, 19 or 20?
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe more. He'd annoy me. Because from the time I'm from, and I'm not even that old, like, but the time I'm from, how you conduct yourself is very different to the way how they conduct themselves, that age group. And I know it's not nice to say, like, what would you say, pigeonhole a generation by one person, but it's just like, no fucking, there's no physical labour even for fun there, like.
Yeah.
You know, you won't go and dig a trench just for the sake in your head. You'll be thinking, well, I can't go to the gym, but it's that kind of day and we kind of need some drainage down there. I'll get a shovel and I'll go at it. They'd be like, fuck right off.
Fuck off, yeah. And that's the thing.
Sad, because you need a balance in everything. And you need the mind and the body to be balanced. So hard thinking and hard working and stressing needs to be, you need to stress your body.
It's all part of the process.
It's what makes you stronger.
It is, and you got to push yourself. If you're comfortable, then
you're losing.
You're losing. So I think that's a big takeaway, and I think the problem with a lot of people and your nephew and my generation is, like, we see all these other people doing things, and so we dream in our head like, oh, well, everybody's kind of doing better than me, or it's like a competition and a rat race in a sense, if you let it.
If you let it, yeah. I mean, you're in charge of reality's perception. Your perception is your reality. So if that's how you think, you will. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. You will bring that into your reality. That would be your being. Whereas if you think, oh, well, I suck at this, but I'm going to put in the effort, and I'm going to give myself realistic goals where I'll say in 5 months from now I'm going to measure my fucking progress.
Yeah.
In anything that you're doing.
It's like checkpoints, and once you're crossing off boxes, it's
you
reinforcement.
And then there's the confidence that I don't believe in, but people talk about it. So, but it's that belief. Look, I've put in the grind, I've hustled, and I can see the progress.
Yeah.
And once you can see that, fuck it, man, you can do whatever.
Of course, I agree, and that's kind of why I'm here. I want to get out of my comfort zone, and I want to learn a different way of doing things, whether it's horse-wise or in life in general. And
what's the story of you and horses? Is that just like...
Yeah, so, I mean, I just for the last 5 or 6 years, I've been kind of just doing different jobs. In Kentucky, it's pretty much the horse capital of the world, you know? And so it's a big deal, and so there's plenty of opportunity there as far as the horses go. So I've worked on some farms with the mares and foals, and working with some yearlings, prep for the sales, and doing some racetrack work, just a few different things, but I've never kind of seen the breeze-ups and the 2-year-olds, how they, buy these yearlings and then they break them and sell them, and they pick the sales out, just trying to get the best outcome. And it's very interesting. And
it's fucking very interesting.
Oh, and the whole business behind it, just like feast or famine in a way. And it's all a numbers game.
It's like an actor nearly.
Oh man, it is a crazy game, but that's what makes it so fun.
Yeah, I imagine. I was only watching a quick interview with a guy up the country there near where is it, in Kildare. He was a jockey. He kind of started off as a bit-time jockey. Then he won some big races in England, and now he's got a fantastic setup for training race horses. He's a trainer now, and he looks like he's doing pretty good for himself. But it was a long road for him.
Yeah, and that's the way it seems. Like, you got to be bought in, and you got to take the punches.
But an oak tree doesn't grow overnight.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Everyone wants this fucking pizza dinner. You gotta, if you want a real food, you gotta get the fucking ingredients and cook them.
Yeah, it's a process, like you said.
You gotta put in the time.
You gotta put in the time, and when you do put in the time, you get luckier in a sense, because
you make your luck.
Yeah, you make your luck, exactly.
I mean, a lot of people get lucky and they're not ready for it because they didn't prepare and they weren't doing their thing, and then they're like, and they shit themselves, and nothing happens with that luck.
Yeah.
Whereas the one who's kind of like, they're working it, and then the luck comes along, they don't even see it as luck. They just see, well, but of course, now off we go this way. And then later on, maybe on reflection, they'll say, geez, I was lucky that day that happened. Mm-hmm. But while they're in the storm, they're not paying attention to it. Like, they're just trying to get through it.
Yeah. No, I get it. And that's on the day-to-day, just kind of making sure you're keeping your headspace pretty clear. And
that's a fucking challenge every day in and of itself.
That's why I bring it up.
Especially nowadays, I mean, you're inundated with shit that is none of your business, but it's fucking there anyway.
Yeah.
It finds its way to you.
Of course. I mean, it makes it tough, and you choose what you consume to a point.
To a point, but they've spent
pushed.
millions and millions to fucking get psychologists to figure out how to get to you.
Exactly.
So they're gonna get you, either way.
That's what I was talking to Tom there. It's like me and you talking about, say something random, and it'll pop up on my feed just like they're listening to you.
Oh, that's
it's crazy.
We've seen that for a long time now, since we had the fucking phones, I guess.
Yeah, it just seems more enhanced, like year by year, in these new social media forms.
Even now, the way people think they've a new sense of freedom with their freedom of expression on social media, as if that's some fucking, they're being pirates or something. That's by design. You've just fucking walked right into it, and you're living a thing now that you think is yours, but it's not. It's fucking by design. You think this just got away from them or something? It didn't. This is by design.
By design.
The whole thing, if you look at it, it's fucking unbelievable. And if someone's going to create something so unbelievable, you'd think that they didn't figure that, well, this might happen now. Because, people are like, remember when we gave them the radio, they lost their minds, and music changed dramatically, and in turn, fucking fashion changed, and movements come and go. So it's all down to, like, more exposure to more people. I think it was Bob Geldof, I was listening to an interview with him a while back, and he was going on about stats. When the radio was invented, or was it first when the newspaper was invented? In most countries that would have newspapers then, there was like more war.
Really?
The more people got to know about people,
because it's like a propaganda thing.
Yeah, and then when the radio came, the same thing. I mean, it just shot through the roof statistically, globally. And then when the TV came, fucking same thing happens every time there's a new boom of medium.
And it's almost...
The more people get to know about each other, the more they get fucking agitated. Because they're meant to be like in a village.
Yeah.
Hunter-gatherer kind of thing. I don't know what the fuck's going on the other side of the world. It's none of my business. But now people say, look, there's something going on. We better have a march. For what? For that fucking poor kid over there in that country on the other side of the world. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it's
Eat
crazy.
Your fucking breakfast, crazy cunt.
It's almost like people...
It's none of your business.
People go the extra mile to be woke, in a sense, and do these things.
Woke is a virus. A bad virus.
It is. It's mad. So, I don't know. I try to avoid it if I can, but...
I see America seems to be getting, on this side of the pond anyway, it seems to be held up all the time as either the good guy or the bad guy or the shady guy or the whatever guy, because I suppose it's the richest of them. And it's still trying to hold the appeal, like, come over here and build your dreams kind of thing. But when you look at America, like, on a whole number of different perspectives, as opposed to someone's idea of America, you get a bunch of different ideas. It is a wacky fucking place.
Oh, it's wacky.
It's an extreme of everything.
It is. You see a little bit of everything for sure. I don't know. It's just... It's kind of depressing in ways.
I fucking bet it's the wild, wild fucking west.
It is the Wild West, and it really varies state to state. So,
and that's another thing I mean, look what's going on with Texas at the moment with the border.
Oh,
they're fucking going toe to toe with the federal government. They're fucking look. I have no time for them anyway. They're the whole reason I didn't go to America in the end. I was meant to go. I was always thinking I'd definitely be going to America before I'm 18. Mm-hmm. But the more wise you get to shit, they're like, I don't know about this American. They're fucking crazy.
It's a big difference from here.
If you're leaving here to go there, you really have to be walking into a ready-made environment that is there. They're going to take care of you, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But fuck me, pink man. Most people I know who went to America, and if they came back, they're kind of fucked up. It's like they didn't come back. You know what I mean? They're just there in body. They're kind of scarred for some reason.
Yeah, it's not easy, and if you're leaving home to go into that environment, it seems like polar opposite switch up for you. So
yeah, when shit happens here, it's once in the blue moon. You know, you might hear something like some fucking family suicide on a farm out of the blue, but we all know these things are always a result of something that's been brewing forever.
Yeah.
So it's not only Ireland, it's in every country. Wherever there's people, it's going on. But it seems in America, it's like under a magnifying glass.
All the time. And
it's intensified to fuck.
It is intensified. And that's like another thing.
And you're allowed to have guns. And you can have all the medication you don't fucking need.
It's bad.
That's a bad combination.
It's a bad combination. Like, the amount of people that are on ADHD medicine that don't need it. Like, you can go to the doctor and say, like, you're looking off in space, and the doctor's like, oh yeah, you definitely need it. Here's your script. And people take that and like just forget about everything else. Like,
they've surrendered their sovereignty of self.
It is, and it's kind of it's pretty crazy. But I see people close to me that get affected by it, and it's interesting. So you bring that up, and then the gun thing too. It's like you split everybody in half, and then you're like, everybody's like, fuck you, and they're like, no, fuck you.
All I know is if I was in America, I would definitely have to have a gun, because out of paranoia. I'd be so concerned with the stats. I'd be thinking, I definitely am getting that. There's no way I'm getting shot up with no gun.
Well, it's good to have a little something as protection for sure. At least hold down your fort in a way, because of all the shit you do see on the news.
It's keeping you a constant state of fear. You can barely fucking think to yourself like, oh, it's a beautiful day today, and then you hear the news, fucking school shooting just down the road. Like, son of a bitch. And then you have to go to work hard, and think of all the stresses that you've gone on with whatever bills you have to fucking pay, and you've just sent your kids to school, and you're now thinking, are they going to come home today?
And they're supposed to be safe there, and you drop them off, and it's scary. Like, in Kentucky, in the last, I'd say 3 to 5 years, we had a school shooting just a couple hours away from us, and it was like devastating. And there was a lot of kids that passed from it.
Fucked up.
And not only that, it's happening everywhere, in like frequently. It's not good.
Then you hear all kinds of shit, crazy talk. Like, there's elements coming out that the government of the day would have fucking. It would have been like they'd put these things in motion in some cases, just to get the public uproar so they can go after the gun people and get rid of the gun lobbyists or whatever. But it's just, you don't know what to believe anymore.
No.
There's no north and there's no south.
No.
You're kind of fucked. You're free falling.
Yeah.
So you gotta I definitely think you gotta once in a while, once a week, just step outside the noise and just focus and just center yourself.
And I think that might end up being one of the biggest takeaways from coming here. You talk about change of pace. It's, coming from America, I can be to all the big grocery stores, and I can go 100 places.
Convenience.
Yeah, the convenience factor is absurd, and it's probably not a great thing. But
definitely not.
But coming here and kind of being off grid in a way, it's forced me to do different things and think differently. Yeah. So without all the noise, you can take time to. I've been reading some more books. I haven't read books in years and years, and it's been a good thing for me.
It's a very good thing.
It's a good thing, and
good thing for the vocabulary.
Intelligence in a whole. You're learning things, and you can kind of pick and choose what you want to consume.
But your brain is starting to rewire, and you're starting to. I don't know about you, but when I'm reading, I got like a movie going on in my head, and I've got pictures of what I'm reading. Yeah. You're inventing a face to suit this character that you've read. Yeah. That's on the page.
It's an imagination thing.
Yeah.
And just being.
So you're firing up all kinds of fireworks in your brain, which is all good.
All good things. I agree. So I've got to experience a little bit of that, and it felt good and to change it up and do some things like that. And then I guess another thing, just recently I started just trying to write some things down more.
I was just going to say it.
And I've never done that. And I don't know why I haven't. Like, it's great to just reflect on the days, but also, especially while I'm here, I'm like, well, I want to make sure that I'm taking these things that I'm learning and actually putting them down and making sure that I'm not treating this whole experience like a test. I want to take these things back or be able to use these things in a practical way.
Add them to your toolbox, so to speak.
The toolbox. Yeah. And so another thing, I've been telling my family back home, they're checking on me, they're all worried. They're like, well, I just couldn't be there in the same day. I just said, I'm worried about you. And I appreciate people care. That's a great thing.
That's natural enough.
Yeah, of course. And so, anyways, I've been telling them about some of the things I'm writing down there. I was like, I've had 10 cans of SpaghettiOs soup for 27 cents a pop and just like loving it. And I haven't had those since I was maybe 6 years old. So
yeah, when you're kind of flying by yourself, it's funny. It is funny. I can remember that. You get a great, I don't know, there's a great comfort to it.
It is. And being in your mid-20s, you just making sure you're taking full advantage of it.
100%.
But so back home, I live with some housemates, like my buddies from university.
Right.
And so we just raise hell and play video games and go drink. And
well, that has to be done too, you know. But again, it's balance, finding the balance.
Of
not
course.
having one thing override the other or just unbalance everything, you know, because, I mean, I've unbalanced a whole bunch of shit. But it's out of pure stubbornness that I just keep going. Mm-hmm. But it's, you know, then you have to wonder, you can drift into philosophies and think there's no such thing as accidents or coincidence. There's only appointments, and everything is as it should be. You are where you're meant to be, when you're meant to be there, with who you're meant to be.
yeah, everything happens for a reason.
So then you'd be thinking, like, you know, you might test that theory and say, I'm going to do fuck all, so I'll see what happens. And you might find that while you're doing fuck all at the start, you might get some great ideas because you're not stressed or distracted. And in that moment, then it fires you off on another adventure.
Yeah.
You know, but was that meant to be?
Yeah.
You know, it's a squirty kind of thing.
It's perspective. And,
it is perspective.
And I think, too, like, if you can kind of just be thankful for the little things, like, just
gratitude is important.
Gratitude, because, hey, I woke up today. Like, that's not always a guaranteed thing. So...
No.
If you're waking up and going to bed tonight healthy and you know you have people around you that are healthy, that's another bonus. So it's just like making sure that you're, you know, focused and you, like you said, gratification. Just
well, it's like, you know, the moon. If you look at the moon on a clear night, that's your kind of your overriding goal. You're aiming for that, and all the stars you see, then they're all those thoughts. I'm grateful for this. I'm happy for that. I'm happy they're here. You know, it's not that they're less important. It's just there's so many of them that you kind of have to put them on the top shelf and the subconscious while you're still focused on the goal. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you can become this fucking saint who all he does is he goes around to everybody that he knows of or heard of or is related to see if they're okay, and then that's your life fucked.
Yeah, there's definitely a balance.
So, you know, it's like when you're shaving, you're making decisions in the morning. Mm-hmm. While you're waiting for your coffee, you're thinking your day ahead. You know, you're planning things out, all these little synchronicities. They're all falling into this little thing that you're making. That's the plan. Mm-hmm. Once you turn the key, we're going for that.
Yeah.
But it's all like, there's no shock factor.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you've prepared it. It's in your head. Mm-hmm. You're done. Let's go.
Yeah, there's plenty of micro decisions that you make, not only on a daily basis, you make thousands, tens of thousands of micro decisions on a daily basis, you know, going through your day. So, I mean, some of those things add up. Yes. And can take you really on a different path if you're not careful, right?
100%. That's why the whole balance thing is important. That's why discipline, I mean, I'm a fucker for discipline. I strive. I get moments in the course of the year, but then again, it's just about knowing yourself. And I know that in the winter, I'm a bear. I want to go to sleep.
You hibernate.
I want to be lazy. But I've been fighting that for like a few years now. So I know that if I'm going to stutter, it's coming into the winter, it's during the winter, and I skip out of winter then because I haven't wasted in my head anyway. I'm not gonna burn myself out or anything, but you got to recognize that that's a possibility because everyone is uniquely different. You know, even thinking about shit can just fuck some people up. So you got to be like, I should go and do this now, but then you're thinking, well, you got a tickle in the throat. It's cold in there. You got an important job. You got to finish in the coming week, and the weather's meant to be damp. So you don't want to be going in there fucked up already. So maybe just give this a skip over just this weekend. And maybe just don't go paint for 4 hours in a fucking cold, shitty thing. And just take care of yourself. And go in there and rock it on for the whole week and finish. And then you can go paint double time next weekend. That's how I talk in my head about it. And I'm thinking, you're just being a lazy cunt. No, you're not being a lazy cunt. You're being a sensible
It's
cunt.
like the angel and the devil on your shoulder.
Very much that. It's very much that. But it's like, you're just trying to reason in your head, like, because you've had experiences before where you've been on the job in the snow, fucking busting stone, coughing up shit, and you're all fucked up and you're weak and you're just, I should have gone to fucking bed that day, but here I am now because it has to be done.
Yeah, like you said, discipline.
So you gotta just fucking. But in a sense, then, is there a discipline because you still went to work fucked up in those conditions, up on a mountain like an idiot, like a fucked up monk with a hammer?
Because then you could do permanent damage in something that's temporary. You never know.
I don't know. Look, I smoke, so I don't believe in a lot of the shit that we're told.
Yeah.
Actually, I believe very little of what I'm told. It's not ignorance. It's just like the alleged proof that I'm given on anything is not strong enough when I scrutinize it. Mm-hmm. And I don't scrutinize it with a higher understanding intellectually from them or somewhere else. It's just like, it doesn't feel right to me.
Yeah.
And there's something fucking, I don't know. I can't commit to it. Good luck. I'm out of the fag.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's a lot of other things you could be doing, but everyone has their poison.
Yeah, and playing on your winter point, like when it gets dark early and it's cold and you're uncomfortable.
It's testing.
It's testing, and I mean, I think I go through the same thing. It's we call it seasonal depression. It's
a fucking thing.
It is, and
especially in the northern countries. But Kentucky, what's the climate like there?
It's very similar to here, actually. Yeah. So the scenery and the climate and things like that, it's very mild in a sense, and it's very similar. I would say it's obvious. I think it's prettier here, but either way, it's very comparable, and I think a lot of people would say that. So.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't know much about Kentucky now, but I know that it's got vast landscape, rolling hills and all of that jazz. But caves, it's beautiful.
Big
with the caves, yeah. Yes. But look, I think Ireland's the best country in the world, except for its government. But most people can say that about their country, except for their government. Mm-hmm. But no, it's just like I said. I have a brother in Philadelphia. He was on the news there a few years ago because he wasn't meant to be in Philadelphia. They wanted to get him out of the country. Then there was a big furore made up over it, and now he's still there. But he loves it there. He loves Philadelphia.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about going and visiting him?
No.
No, never.
Too busy.
Too busy. No,
too busy tinking shit up.
Yeah, and you work 6 days a week, right?
I do. Like I was pricing the job today now, and it took longer than I thought it would. Because sometimes they just want to talk to you about their idea, and you got to say, well, I think it's a shit idea. But what you should do is this, maybe, with the stone that you're thinking of.
Yeah.
And it was actually an enjoyable conversation, and I love to talk to people.
Yeah,
you know, it's like, it's nice. You know, some people you get a vibe straight away. Oh, this one's a cunt. I don't want to talk to this one. So you know, you're like, nah, not today.
It is straight away though. It's almost like in that first couple seconds.
The more you fucking, the more you're consciously aware of intuition and all of this jazz. The more it's like the more you use it, or the more you think you're using it, the more you're developing.
And the practice of it, doing more of it helps, but 100%. Also whenever you get the experience doing it and you're comfortable with it, then you can kind of read these rooms, and you're like, hey,
100%.
And if you can read a room, I feel like you have a strong advantage in these scenarios, in whatever way you want to call it.
Every scenario.
It doesn't have to be business related, just intellectually.
Self-preservation.
Exactly, and. I think if you can if you can work on that skill like that.
Well, I think it's important that you challenge yourself. I mean, I took up archery there with the brother last year, and the missus took it up, and his missus took it up. And I always had a thing for archery. Like, even when we were out in that cottage we were living in Fermoy, we got bows, and we knew nothing about nothing. We just figured we'd get a bow and shoot a fucking bow. How hard can it be?
Yeah.
We just shoot a couch at the end of the garden. Leave it at that. But then the kids came along, that was the end of that. Because we couldn't find clubs, we just weren't clued in. But then, by chance, about a year ago, the brother found one. We were at some fucking summer show down in Cork City. And there was an archery club, had like a tent there to kind of bang up some business and awareness. So the brother went in shooting, and he's like, I love that. And then he found a club about 20 minutes away from here. So we went to the club out of curiosity, and next thing you know, it's like...
You're all in.
I feel the force.
Yeah.
The force is strong.
Well, you picked up a hobby. That's something cool.
But it's like when you're shooting the bow, it's like, it's so fucking complicated. And to consistently get what you want to get is fucking hard. Mm-hmm. But the minute you start overcoming things and you're skipping ahead, because you're just so hungry to get it. You're just going after it and you're going after it. And I was going over there like a psycho. I'd be going over there in the car. I wouldn't talk to nobody. In my head, I'm thinking, fuck them fucking wackos. I'm talking to no one. I'm over there to do a job. My job is get the eggs. 20 yards, eggs.
Yeah.
And I was doing that for a solid hour. And then the next, I take a 5-minute break. And I'd be thinking about all my fuck-ups. I would very seldom register the positives. Mm-hmm. But then, like, because I did that for such a chunk of time, would say, a quick chunk of time, there was improvement that I could see, and I could recognize the problems and why they're problems. And now you're more informed, and it's like reading the room. Now you walk in, you know what's going on, and you know now you're going into competitions and everything. You've no business going into them.
Yeah,
but you're like, fuck yeah, I'll go into them. I'll probably win.
Yeah, yeah. You
gotta think like that.
Yeah, you do. You have to have confidence.
I was thinking, I'm going to the Olympics, son.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's like golf. Like in golf, it's such a frustrating game, but you hit one good shot and you're like, that's why you keep playing.
Yeah, my sister's got her boyfriend is big into golf, and he's got a range, I think, over in Fermoy. And I was just thinking when I was at the archery range the last time, because the field archery is what we do, so you're going through the woods every competition, and you're shooting these 3D targets. It's a buzz, man. I think the longest one will be about 60, maybe 70 yards.
Okay.
To maybe 15. And everything in between. And you're shooting tree lines and shit. It's awesome. But when you're at the range, it's just a 20-yard indoor. In the winter especially. They have outdoor targets, but you can only shoot them really kind of spring, summer. But in the winter, you're just in there trying to get back into like a bow fitness and get your form down for when you get into the woods and stuff.
Strength.
So I was thinking to talk to this golf guy about, is it the same when he's at the range shooting his golf to when he's going to like competitions or playing around the golf? You know, what mentality changes. What is there, like, all this means nothing now? Because that was just doing push-ups before you went out here to do the job. So I think there'd be a lot of interesting similarities.
Yeah, I would say so. I was telling Tom about this book I'm reading, and it's this guy, and he wants to be a big bow shooter and samurai kind of deal. And so he did all this research, and he was like, oh, I know how to do this. Like, I know, watch YouTube video. I know how to tie my bow up. Yeah, exactly. And so he goes to actual training and like moves to a different country, and he's like in this other new culture, and he's learning, and he's like, all right, I'm ready to go shoot. And they're like, no, that isn't how it works. like we need to chop wood and carry water to like get heat for the town. So for the first
slave.
Yeah, we're gonna make you be, start from the bottom, and you're gonna learn these things, and then you're gonna learn how to shoot. But you have to know everything because you go back to your practice whenever you're going to the game, right? You're talking about what changes whenever you go from practicing to going to the game. So you go back to your training. Did you take shortcuts, or did you actually take it for each step and truly, immerse yourself in it and kind of relate back to your training when there's a big moment? You know what I mean?
I do know what you're saying, but it's like my problem, and Tom will probably agree with this. I go and someone will show me how to do a thing. And if it's usually a physical thing. And I'm thinking, well, that's how you probably do it because you're physically different to... You move the way you move, and I move the way I move. And if I try, and I will try it, but if I feel uncomfortable with it, I won't do it. I'll find a way to do it that fits my body, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And then I'll bring that up to that standard or whatever. And that's kind of usually where there's friction.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, fuck you. This is the way it's going to be done. It's like when I was getting horse riding lessons, she was giving out to me all the time. Yeah. Use your core, because I don't have a core, lady. What are you fucking talking about? I didn't know the language. I didn't know. I said, this is horse riding lessons.
Yeah.
Meaning I've never been on a horse before.
Yeah.
You fucking cracker. I don't know what you're saying to me. I'm just hoping I don't fall off this fucking dinosaur. He's huge.
No.
I was getting up on a picnic table to get on the horse. I loved getting up. When I was up there, it was like 60 seconds of pure fear.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck. There's nothing to hold on to.
You're elevated.
And you're moving. And then he moves again when you settle. And then you're off again. You're like, fuck. best thing in my head is just go, yeah, and hopefully he'll take off and we'll see what happens. I'll figure it out fairly quickly then I'm thinking. But this guy's a slob. He's just fucking moving barely. And I'm like, but he's a beautiful horse.
Yeah. Well,
he's retired. He didn't need me coming up there wrecking his fucking head.
No.
I was down the field to get him in, just to push him down and put the saddle on him, and he's like, fuck you. And he just ran away.
Jeez.
And she's looking at him. He never does that. I'm sure, every time I'd say he does that.
Yeah, it's like a dog, and you're like,
she went after him, and she got the lead, but whatever fucking move he made, she ended up on her back anyway in the high grass.
Jeez.
Just trying to laugh. But, so it's like, it's all well and good. When you get instruction, I take it like they're trying to give me some advice.
Well, that's the thing. Like, even
it's not like I'm not going to do what you're implying.
Yeah,
I'm going to just assess it.
Well,
and I say, how can I use that and add to it?
Yeah, in my example, we kind of working on the farm, doing different tasks. There's plenty throughout the day, so. Whenever somebody's showing you what to kind of do, there's multiple right ways to do everything, pretty much.
But don't you find that there's always someone who's doing the telling you? And there's a guy I work with stonework, and he wants you to fucking get out of the van the way he gets out of his van. He wants you to walk over to the mixer the way he'll walk over to the mixer. He's just dialed right into that degree, and you're like, get a life.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing.
No, exactly.
You know what I mean? So some people are just, I find it hard to work for people. I mean, to work for other stonemasons. No, it's not going to work. There's one or two that I can get. There's two definitely I can work with, because they just like, I know what you can do, just fucking do it all day long.
Yeah.
And I'll be over here.
But you're confident in your abilities at this point to where you don't feel like you have to listen to anyone.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm always looking for something.
Yeah.
But I'm not fucking needing something. It's more of an interest, a curiosity. It's like, that's how you do that over there. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, maybe I can use that somewhere.
Yeah, implement it in some kind of design or something later on. Just put it in the back drawer in the memory castle,
Yeah.
But it's not like, I need it.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's kind of cool. End of.
Yeah, but then you'll end up doing it your way regardless. It's like there's a certain way to, hey, do it this way. And then you start doing it that way and you're like, I can change this. And it works better for me.
I think once you have a fundamental, basic belief in what it is you're doing, it doesn't fucking really matter what anyone says to you, because you have, like for me, it's like, if you give me a bunch of stone, I'm going to look at the stone, I'm going to pick it up, and I'm going to think, I might smash it up a bit with a hammer and say, well, this doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
It looks shit.
Yeah.
And then you fuck around with it until you say, that works, and it doesn't break wrong or whatever. And you think, fuck it, this is how it should be built. Then you'll have some cunt over in the corner of the console. We'll cut this up into squares. No, we won't. Get brick if you want to do that. If you want to do stone, let stone be stone. It's like, the idea has to be in charge. If you're going to get an idea to do a painting, and halfway through, you're tearing through it because it's so good in your head. It feels so right. Yeah. But then your ego steps in and says, it'd be better if you went this way. And you follow that, you're fucked.
Yeah. You
got to stay true to the initial thing. And that's where you just got to tear into it until it's finished. But I tend to just say, you know what? I think it'd be better if I go this way. And I fuck it up. But
it's easy. It's easy to do that, too.
It's very easy.
It's like you don't always see when you're right, too. So,
but you feel it.
You can feel it.
You have to be honest with yourself. But you can get carried away with the glow of how good it feels, the idea feels, that you might get overconfident and just overreach. And then you're Icarus. So, too fucking close to the sun.
Too fucking close. It's always...
you gotta... It's all about balance.
Balance
it goes back to balance and humble.
You gotta be aware, too. But being humble and having the perspective and gratitude, things like that, it's like... You can kind of talk to yourself like you're talking to yourself all the time
100%.
In your head.
You can't shut the cunt up.
No. So if you can kind of get it to be doing the right things,
I heard
it can work for
a conversation. I forget now where it was. Probably online, but there are these folks having a conversation, and you know what you just said there, like the other way, you'd be having a conversation with yourself. You hear that inner voice. Apparently, there's some psychologist was saying that there's meant to be a scary percentage of people that don't have this inner voice, this inner conversation.
Really?
Yeah. Walking around. just kind of like duds.
Yeah.
Just to make up the numbers.
I'm kind of scared of that person.
Telling me. It's fucking freaky shit. Because I think animals have more fucking sense than people.
They do.
People are fucked. People have lost their way from the earth. Do you know what I mean?
People are fucked.
People are fucked.
I mean, that's maybe could be the thumbnail to this podcast episode. People are fucked.
Yeah,
episode 53.
The people watching this, no, you're fucked. Yeah, but look, I mean, so how long are you in Ireland?
So I have a return flight for April 15th. That's my 90 days for the holiday visa.
All right.
Kind of doing it that way, but I'm trying to request an extension for another month so I can maybe attend some sales with Grove, but I'm still working on that. So as of now, April 15th, but I hope to stay till May.
And is there, what would be your biggest kind of experiences in regards to like how different things are here as opposed to home in Kentucky?
I feel like people here kind of care more, whether it's just the job or maybe it's just there at the farm, but I don't know, there's more attention to detail in a way, and people care, and they're not just in a rush to get out of there. Like in America, we want everything instant, and we don't want to work that hard for it if we can help it.
Yeah, that's not the right attitude at all.
No, it's
that's
not.
That's not how that country was built.
No, it's not, but people are consuming at outrageous levels and going into all this debt, and it's because it's just you want just instant gratification or instant like thing. Or...
No, look, things got out of hand there a long time ago. I watched this cool documentary about American people when Pearl Harbor. I was going to say Pearl Jam, but when Pearl Harbor
Pearl
happened,
Jam's good too.
They're awesome. But when the way they rebuilt the fucking fleet of planes so quickly against all odds, there's such ingenuity and fucking pride and just graft. They're just hard-working motherfuckers. Like,
yeah.
Now, not so much.
It's just every generation it seems to slip.
It seems to be watered down. Like, I mean, I was watching another one, for example, on stonemasonry, and it was actually a lad from Boston, a stonemason in Boston, was doing the documentary. I think it's like in his family, stonemasonry, and he was going on like 100 years ago. Now, this guy holds himself in some high regard as a stonemason. I mean, he's had a career. I think he's retired from it, but now he's doing this just to keep in it. So he's doing these little YouTube channel where it's just all stonework.
Yeah.
And he's gone on about, like, if he was to approach a stonemason from 100 years ago, the stonemason wouldn't rate him as a stonemason. Because what the stonemason 100 years ago would be qualified to do, practically...
Makes sense.
Makes your man look like a novice.
Yeah.
And your man thinks he's the bee's knees then, like, you know.
Yeah.
I'm such a great stonemason. I've had a long career. I've done all of this. But the guy 100 years ago said, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, but it's funny how
And it's not like he hasn't tried, but it's the environment.
Yeah.
He didn't get out of the environment. I mean, some people just... It's so different for everyone. It's a bit of a head fuck. But you can say, like, you now, you're over here at the Grove. The Grove is held in high regard for what it does. And so you come out of your environment and you're over here now in a different environment.
Exactly.
And it's striving to be, you know, to reach the cream of the crop every time. So you see the effort that's required to achieve this. And it's not a guarantee.
It's not.
But the effort has to be consistent. And it's you have to apply that to every aspect.
Yeah, and that's a good thing too. I think they lead by example here, you know, and I think that's good to see because the guy that you look up to in a sense is
the guy you hate the most.
Well, it could
Usually.
be. Yeah, it could be.
The guy who just makes the most noise and insults you the most and you just want to fuck him up with a hammer. But you don't. You just fucking take it on the chin and say, this guy better walk away soon. But then you watch what he's doing and you're thinking, God.
Yeah.
And then you're trying harder because you're embarrassed.
Yeah.
Or ashamed of your lack of effort.
Yeah.
So
And it varies on in
but
scenario.
then some people will fold.
Yeah. Oh, plenty fold. And that's, we talk about all these things. Like, I think, you know, we agree on a lot of things, but there are so many people out there that just, like you said, they don't even have an inner voice.
No.
And so, like, there's no telling. It's
It's screwy, man.
It's screwy.
I mean, the way you move on is you assess the situation, every situation with the information. If you're not getting the information, how can you assess the situation? And then how can you get out of it? Like,
yeah,
you don't know what's what. And that's a lot of the situation at the moment. There's no correct information available.
No.
Everything is a fucking lottery. Like,
it's a lottery.
So you gotta go into yourself and just fucking nurture the instinct that's already there. Just, bring it alive a little bit every chance you get.
And anybody can post or do anything.
But there's a lot of negative shit and a lot of angry shit.
Well, most of it's that way.
Right? I wanna be, if I come in here in a bad mood, I'm not posting shit. I'll mock myself. I'll be the joker. I'll ridicule myself. It's very easy to do, and it makes me laugh sometimes. Most of the time, it makes me laugh. And if people are laughing at you or with you, it's a win, because then it's like, it's a positive. There's nothing negative about a laugh, unless you're Nazi. But then again, that's different.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's all about perspective. But you gotta consciously be giving up. Fuck off.
Yeah.
You got to be consciously aware of what you're putting out, not only like on the internet, but in your daily. I get home from work with, say, after fucking, you're wrecked after a fucking day and a long drive home, and then you get in, there's kids fucking screaming at you, and your initial thoughts are drop kicking through the fucking window. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get out of my space.
Yeah.
But you don't do that.
No.
The dogs rush at the door, and it's like you're getting headbutts because they're excited to see you.
Yeah, but it's all love.
Of
but
course,
it's
but
hard.
It's like timing is never good. But you're a fucking fully grown man or a human. You gotta say, well, aren't I lucky?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Because you have a family, and a lot of people don't even have that.
And sometimes when you don't want to do shit, you think of that family, and that's the reason you're doing shit. So you go that extra mile, doing stuff you don't want to do when you don't want to do it.
Yeah.
But you do it.
And in a way, you kind of signed up for it. Whenever you made the decision, whether you meant to or not, things kind of...
That's the easy part.
Yeah.
Signing up for shit is always easy.
Yeah.
It's the fucking...
repercussions and
it's the actual doing it. It's like, someone say, you busy? You goes, yeah, months ahead of me. And that's great. You goes, yeah, I got to do it though. You know what I mean? It's great being busy, but you still got to go do it.
Yeah.
And every job, everything you do there's all these little hidden mines that could just fuck
blow you up.
You know what I mean? So you got to be like, I don't even give a fuck about money. Because it's just an irritation. I understand it, the necessity in the world we live in, but it's no friend of mine.
No.
It's a fucking cunt.
I think if you can think that way, then you win in a sense in thinking that. Because a lot of people have that false reality of wanting the money because they think it'll fix all their problems. And then they go and buy...
Hard physical work is what you need. Yeah. Everybody, every single body, no matter what your day job is. And I don't mean go to the fucking gym and lift weights. I mean get out into the fucking mountains or the fields or the woods and fucking run up that hill. Twist your fucking ankle. It's a risk. Coming down the hill. Just do these things. And it's just a different vibration. You're on a different frequency. And you need to do this.
Yeah.
Everyone needs to do this. I mean, that's why you get out of bed and your only day off, it's stupid o'clock. And you go down the other side of the country in the dark. And you meet all these crazy crackers and you have the greatest fucking time.
Yeah.
You're having a great laugh, you know what I mean? And that gives you a different kind of boost going into the next week when you're by yourself doing your thing.
It does.
You'd be giggling away at yourself in the middle of the day because a memory just popped into your head.
But it takes getting out and exposing yourself to
that's
those
the
things.
hardest part of the day, getting out of the bed.
Yeah.
So jump the fuck out of it.
Jump the fuck out. And
Put
wake
the
up
alarm
on...
far away from the bed.
Yeah.
So you have to get to that before it wakes the kids up, or else that's the end of your day.
Yeah. It ends before it starts.
Yeah, so fuck. This drop kick again. But no, it's you can't be taking it too serious, and you can't take yourself too seriously either. Because I mean, you have serious thoughts and you have serious intentions, and you don't want to be a fucking loser to yourself.
No.
How anyone else perceives you is not really that relevant. But if you're making the effort yourself, and you're able to sleep at night knowing that I'm fucking wrecked, I earned this nap, then you're doing okay.
Yeah.
You know?
No, it is. And it's kind of the small wins, right? Like, if you can be happy with the small wins, then they add up and they can equal something big. And
absolutely, I mean it's character. You're getting good character out of it.
Mm-hmm.
You're stepping into your own, and you're worthy, I suppose. I think. I mean, everyone's in a hurry to be fucking in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Today is the present. The present says it all. It's a present.
Yeah, you got to enjoy the moment because it's not guaranteed.
Fucking right, it's not.
So, I mean, there's people that, I don't know. People don't use their vacation days and they save all this money for retirement and then they don't make it there. It's just...
I've known a few people now, and weeks or months after once the retirement comes, it's like weeks or months, some fucking traumatic shit happened.
Yeah.
We didn't know he was sick. He wasn't. Just the shock of it all, of the change for them was just so much. It just fucked them up, and they're dead.
Yeah.
Love.
It's crazy. I mean, it's a crazy thing.
We're all going there, like.
Yeah.
So
it's inevitable.
So basically, just do what you want to do, but do with a bit of dignity
and purpose.
You gotta have a bit of fire in you.
Yeah.
And otherwise, what's the point?
Yeah. You got to get out there. Like you said, the hardest part's waking up and getting out of bed. Jump the fuck up.
Getting out of the comfort zone.
Oh, and
the bed is the comfort zone, like, you know what I mean?
Oh, man. The bed and then the couch to watch some football or sports or something. Just whatever you enjoy to consume.
I actually used to call sports hypnosis.
Hypnosis. Yeah.
Escapism.
Yeah, it is. Because you just fall asleep and you can just tune out.
Zonk out. But look, it's a wonderful adventure, but that's all it is. It's like you're on a working holiday.
Mm-hmm.
So just work.
Yeah, work.
And working with horses that's a dangerous fucking work, man.
It is dangerous.
I went there because I used to go there a couple of times just to get some video footage and some photographs. Tom usually finds something that catches his eye and say, "You got to see this horse. So that's awesome." Now Tom would be thinking I'm going over there to do a traditional painting. I just want to get the energy, the character, and do something with that. But there was this fucking horse he had. I don't know, was it a 2-year-old or a year-old? And the minute that guy saw me, he went down, got him out of the field, and he just clocked me straight away. This horse, he just said, "Oh, who's this fucking guy?" I knew he didn't, because I'm not part of his everyday. I'm not part of his routine. And in my head, I'm thinking, shit. This guy does not
he's
change.
He's not vibing with this.
Not at all. And there I am with the camera and all this fucking... I can't even run from this fucker.
Yeah.
So we're going up anyway to this pen, and Tom's like, "Go in there," and I'll be in there. I'll just close the gate. So he sends in this fucking donkey. I'm standing in the middle, right? He's frightened to close this fucking gate, taking his sweet time, I might add. Next thing, this fucker drops the head, and he comes straight at me. And I just hold the camera and I hope he doesn't break the camera. And Tom whips this fucking thing, and I swear to God, his hair just brushed off my face. He is that close to me. I shit myself, man. The bastard scared the shit out of me. But
they're routine animals.
But then you start laughing.
Yeah.
I mean, he was rushing me like the fucker.
Yeah, charging you.
But it was funny after the fact.
Yeah.
But when I saw him coming, I just closed my eyes and held onto that camera and hope, he doesn't break the camera. I figured I was going to get fucked up, but yeah, that was a squirrel.
Yeah. No, they are routine type animals, so anything out of the norm, they don't know.
Straight away he clocked me, and it wasn't good. I just knew this guy's going to fuck me up first chance he gets.
Yeah, so these horses, like, we kind of work with the colts, and so they're 2-year-old colts that are just now getting training, so they're like, they're just very sharp. A lot of
it's like going to the UFC. The way they're all on twitchy before the fight, they're all just fucking ramped up.
They are. They know what's going on.
Physically and emotionally, they're just fucking...
Yeah.
You're dead.
And to be fair, we're, hard on them early on. They have a process they're going through. We take great care of them, but...
Yeah, but it's still very quick turnaround.
It is. Oh, it's quick.
It's intense.
It's intense. So every day matters. And so many things can go wrong, So if you kind of cover your basis every day and you do your best by the horses and you can kind of read them
But you got to be on your toes every
minute. And that's why you have to respect those guys that are ahead of you because they've been doing it so long, trial and error, figuring out what works, what doesn't for them, and they've seen a little bit of everything, but also they're still learning every day.
Yeah, every day, especially when you're dealing with. Because I'd hold them in high regard now, the horses. I'd have a very different outlook than Tom probably, but I just think, don't fuck with them, like.
Yeah.
Show them respect.
And I agree, and that's why I'm a good size to be riding, but I'm just like, man, I don't.
You run them out?
No, I'm not riding them out. I'm a ground soldier, and I like it. I prefer it that way. And I could get up and ride, and I'm sure it is a great fun thing, but it's risky.
Very risky. One fall is look what did the Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucked.
Yeah, I'm not into it. So I love the horses, and I'll sit there and love on them, and I'm real comfortable around them. But as far as on top of them,
I don't even want to touch them. I just want to look at them.
Yeah,
that's all. It's safe. Mm-hmm. It's safe for where I am. I mean, I've got to zoom on the camera. I don't need to get Tom's. Go over there and touch him. Your man's breathing like a bull. Thinking, you're okay. I'm fine. I'll just zoom in. I can crop this on the computer. Fuck that.
Yeah.
No, I'm not really into like dancing with them and shit.
Yeah, but like Tom, where he's done it for several years, and so he knows what they're going to do before they do it.
Well, he's a horseman.
Yeah,
I would say.
Yeah, he
whereas
is.
I'm not. I am an artist who likes painting horses. I mean, I used to go. There's like is it the Harriers, the Harrier groups when they go off hunting. I'd go up there, I'd get a call, the Harriers are meeting there in the morning and they're going to be all in this field and they're going to take off if you want to go get some photos. And like, I think brilliant opportunity, loads of fucking maybes there. I'd be walking through this field of horses, man, and I'd be like, anyone that would see me walking through this field, this guy does not belong here.
Yeah.
Whoa, hey, whoa. I'm like fucking breakdancing my way through the field,
You're sticking out.
Oh, dude, because it's like, they're just such a cluster of bodies, and a lot of them would be green, as they say. That's why they're there, to kind of get them used to being around a lot of horses with all saddles and shit. So, if you're in the wrong place, you might get a kick in the head. You might get stood on, but at the same time, there's a very heightened sense of something there.
Yeah. And that's that too.
It's cool.
It is cool. But you're always, well, at least in my matter, I'm always on my toes, like you said, because you never know if I'm in a stall with a horse.
And that. I wouldn't be doing that.
And they can pin their ears and kind of turn on you a little bit.
They get a vibe you're afraid at all. They'll fuck with you like.
Oh, they will. They'll bully you.
Yeah.
And that's why you can't be. It's like I don't mind horses. Like I can roll with them, but like dogs. For some reason, I get a little scared of dogs, but I don't mind a horse.
I see a dog, I think, I could kick him in the fucking head. I think I can manage that.
Yeah,
and I'd have no problem just fucking grabbing him by the neck or something. I've been in that situation with and the smaller the dog, the bigger the fight.
Yeah,
they're cunts.
Yeah,
then you turn your back on them, and it's at your expense because they'll nip you.
Yeah,
and then you want to kick them like.
Yeah,
and I love dogs. But I know a cunt when I see a cunt. If he's showing his teeth and he's getting all in my face, he's getting a kick in the head.
Yeah.
He needs to know who's boss.
He gotta learn.
Don't be biting me, fucker. I'm just not having it.
Yeah.
Taking a shot and all that shit.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
And maybe
just ruined my day.
Maybe that's why I'm against it and scared of them, because something's, I've got bit or something. It's just like trauma.
Have you dogs at home?
No, I never had one either. I never had a dog. No.
That's the problem straight away. Your parents should be ashamed of themselves. Every child should have a dog.
Well, I mean, maybe, but
it breaks down that it doesn't take from the child. The child is kind of going to go to everything anyway. All it needs to have the proper adult, watching over. And making sure. I mean, I won't let the two boys in the room by themselves. And the dogs are old now.
Yeah.
But still, they're dogs. You just don't know the kick of. They know you very easy, kids.
Yeah. They could pull on him a certain way and then.
Yes, or poke him in the fucking eye. You know what I mean? Next thing he's missing a fucking finger or whatever.
You don't want that on you. No. Yeah,
but you build it into your lifestyle. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like you're going to be fearing it. But it's like, look, it's a fucking dog. You're a fucking kid. Let's be honest. We're probably aliens to this planet. These guys, they're the real deal. They're from here. they're stronger than you are. They've no problem with fucking you up if you annoy them.
Yeah.
And once you get that into the kids' fucking nut, sometimes kids will be kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's fair. But like with me not growing up with any, I don't know like what it's like, and I'm happy without them in a sense. It's like.
Look, I had a friend say that once. He said, "I see you got a new dog." And I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "You know that dog's going to die someday, and you're going to be all sad." I go, "So what?"
Yeah, well,
that's life.
That point,
but I'll have a whole lifetime with the dog's lifetime.
Yeah,
and I'll make sure that dog is fed and walked and happy, and that's in my head a great contribution to my life experience.
Yeah, and that's a good way to look at it. And I wouldn't see it that way just because I'm like, I see a dog as a responsibility.
It is a fucking a huge responsibility.
And I don't have many of those. And
you're at an age where you shouldn't.
Exactly. And I try to keep it minimal. But when I do start to accumulate them, maybe I will have a dog. But my kids.
And call them fucking... Don't give them a stupid human name. Give them a good dog name.
No, there's plenty of stupid dog names out there that I hear all the time. I'm like, you really named them that? Like,
I know. And then they dress them. What the fuck is that about? I don't know what that's like projecting your mental... irregularities onto the poor dog. The dog's got a coat. Leave him alone. Yeah. Poor thing is sweating in his fucking get-up. See, people are just whack. They're fucking whack.
Maybe that's why, too. Like, maybe I see a lot of that, and I'm just like, oh, that's cringy, in a way.
Cringy.
It's like, oh. Like,
there's a good documentary I watched. What was it? It was a Buck. The horse whisperer guy. He's a real deal... Yeah, in America. Okay. He does classes. He goes around. Oh man, this guy drives like crazy all over the continent.
Really?
America. Fucking going to all the horse places and giving like weekend classes and shit and how to gentle your horse, work with your horse. And his thing is, in the course of the documentary, he goes, I help horses with people problems. I don't help people with horse problems. So that's how he's... and I'm like, but duh. Yeah. He had this woman show up. Fucking... She had this stallion. I mean, to look at this thing, it was like... I believe in God now. How beautiful this thing is. It was heroic looking.
Yeah.
But it was mad as a fuck. It bit the head off. He has a guy, his right-hand man will say, while he's off doing whatever, his right-hand man will be... He'll tell him, look, you go take care of X, Y, and Z. And it just so happens he was given a class. Yuan shows up with this fucking tiger of a fucking horse. And he goes to his right hand. A man now who knows his way around the horse. He goes, yeah, just take him in and run him around. You know, because he was in the trailer. Just get that energy out of him. And I'll be there in 10 minutes. Oh, and your man goes in and he's leading him in. And he's like, how's he getting on? He's good. He's very flexible and blah, blah, blah. And whatever way he was talking to him, because your man was talking to him, the camera was on him. And then the horse just turned around and fucking bit him. And then ran through him. Your man had a fucking... Off to the hospital, he's pumping. And then the real dude got in there and he sorted it out. He got the rope and he did his magic and it seemed to work. But he was... your one didn't... She didn't cut the balls off him or anything?
Yeah, he wasn't in gelding. He was still a stallion.
And apparently there was some trauma with the horse when it was born. It was like I don't know, they reckon he might be retarded.
Really?
Yeah, there was some, maybe a lack of oxygen for too long when it was born or something.
Yeah.
And she seemed like she had a lot of issues, to be honest.
And so that's what it is too, is management of the horses.
Lack of management.
Lack of management, because there are plenty of things you can fix with a good temperament on a horse.
This guy now was a nuclear warhead of a horse.
Yeah, but he probably didn't need his nuts. He needed gelded, I'm sure, way 100%. Back. Way back.
Because he's like, are you going breeding him? And she said, no. He goes, why the fuck haven't you gelded the guy?
Yeah, that would make a world of difference. You know?
Well, they say that, but I had to get Casper done, because he's a big dog. And he's barrel-chested. And whenever a bitch, because we're in the country, they come from around, all the farmers would have dogs, some would have bitches. And when the bitch is in heat and she comes around, the two boys will tear each other apart.
Really?
Casper especially. And Diego's clever enough for him, but if they're in a confined space, Casper's got the weight, and he's just got the aggression. So I had to, he's too old to be giving him away. And he's our dog. So we got him neutered, and he was he's just a slob now. You know, a big fucking slob of a dog.
Yeah.
But he's still Casper, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's your
but
dog.
The aggression is still kind of there because over the Christmas period now they got really... Because I said in my head, my treat to myself for Christmas, 3 weeks of doing nothing. Nothing.
Yeah.
And I'll never do that again because January was hard, man. Going back to work, Christ, I got beat up. But I'd be on the couch and next thing Casper would come up and he'd kind of inch his way in and next thing you know, he's fucking... I'm coming off the couch.
Yeah.
And if I put my leg near him, then...
Really?
And then I have to give him a clip in the head. What the fuck? You dreaming or something?
Yeah.
And
I'm your boss.
So I'm like, what the fuck? So he's just an asshole, I think.
And that's because he still does. He isn't. He still has his.
Oh, he still has that personality.
Yeah.
You know, but he doesn't have the balls for it.
Yeah.
But it's more of an echo of a habit. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. A ripple.
Yeah.
So, but he's a fucking teddy bear. But I wouldn't like to have him attack me. That would bother me.
Of course not.
He's too big.
Yeah.
I'd be thinking, how the fuck am I gonna...
Yeah, and see, you probably thinking a little bit like that. That's why you're like, I don't want my kids in a, closed-in space with them just hanging out.
But then I think he was there one day, and I don't know, was it one of my sisters came around or someone came around, and they wouldn't be around very often. And I think it was Sebastian. Sebastian was only a baby, and they went over to touch Sebastian, and Casper was under the kitchen table because he was kind of like afraid. He doesn't know who this person is. So came into the house, and the minute they closed the distance to the baby, Casper came out and he was like, got in front of the baby, and he wouldn't let my sister near the baby.
Protective.
Yeah. So brownie points straight away.
Yeah.
And then there was another day we were all taking a walk down to the farm just down the road there. But we didn't know that it was fucking calving season and all the fucking cows were going crazy.
Oh, yeah.
And this one particular fucking cow just lost her fucking mind.
Really?
And started doing all this jumping up and down shit and like a war dance, and then coming up. Lucy was ahead of me. She had Sebastian in the buggy and I was walking well behind him with Diego and James Jr. And she had Casper, and she was kind of looking back at me saying, what the fuck is this thing going to charge us? Because it was going to do something.
Yeah.
And fucking Casper just turned around and it's like he just stood his ground and started fucking howling at this cow, and the cow ran away.
So brownie points.
And I was thinking, fucking hero of the day, like, you know?
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, should I be concerned about this? This is getting a bit weird. It's a cow.
Yeah.
I never heard of a cow charging anybody.
No, me neither.
But I didn't know it was calving season either. That changes everything.
Yeah, it's mom protective.
You know what I mean? But the fucking dog was a pure hero. And he's an imposing fucking... If he got a hold of you, he'd fuck you up.
Yeah.
Oh, no doubt.
I just saw him. Yeah.
He's a big boy.
Yeah.
He's as heavy as I am, I think.
Yeah. And he probably... What breed is he of dog?
He's a mixed breed between a sheepdog and a husky.
So he has all these skills already instilled in him from the jump.
High energy as well. And they're fucking clever as fuck. You know what I mean? Except when it comes to mice. They're not so clever with mice. They think they got some kind of super paste that'll kill a mouse. I don't know. Maybe they're just marking their territory. Because whenever they start pissing in the house, I know we've mice.
Really?
Yeah, 100%.
Because they're like sniffing them out and they just piss. So they're like
start pissing
they're
all
thinking
over the
it's
kitchen.
going to like get them away. Like,
yeah,
it's a protective thing.
Oh, this will get them. No, it won't.
Yeah, you bastards.
To clean that shit up. So then you just get the poison and you throw it up and wherever you got to throw it, and that ends it in a week. But it's like they're you can bet on it.
Yeah,
you can bet your house on it. If they start pissing in the kitchen, you have a mouse. And you know what they say: if you got a mouse, you got a family.
Yeah, I wonder how many times it took of them pissing with mice that you figured out. Hey,
Second year, I figured it out. And if Lucy wasn't making such a fucking noise about it, I'd have got it the first year.
Oh, okay.
Because when you live with a woman,
it changes
your
everything.
antenna gets fucked up.
It changes everything.
Oh yeah, there's frequency interruption. That's what I call it.
I've had a girlfriend for 8 years, and we still don't live together. We're not married or engaged or anything like that.
Why would you get engaged? Your what age?
25.
Are you crazy?
Exactly.
You don't even know who you were yet.
I agree, but you don't realize how many people that are my age that
What's your background at home? Are you what's the story? Are you religious? Are you what's the
Yeah, I'm religious, but the reason for that is...
But what religion are you?
I'm a Christian.
What does that mean? I heard that a lot lately.
Yeah.
I'm a Christian. What the fuck is that?
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of...
That's not Catholic, is it?
No, it's not Catholic.
Is it Church of England?
Church of England.
Yeah, most of them are over there.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's...
Christian.
It's I don't know, it's just...
Are they the intense fucking guys?
No, I think Catholics would be way more intense than Christians. Like, you...
Allegedly we're Catholics. I'm not Catholic.
Yeah, but that's like the big religion here, correct?
Oh, big time.
Yeah, so like the people, there's plenty of Irish people, that are in Kentucky for the horses and relative things. So they all still are Catholic. So no, Christianity is different. It's the church I go to. It's just more you can relate to it. It's not you're reading scriptures and it being really just you can't relate to it. If you go way back in the old word and things like that, it's like you got to relate this in a realistic modern day time to kind of shape your beliefs and kind of compare it to yourself in a way, you know?
See, the reason I can't get behind that is because it's like we've read the book. The book isn't, in our opinion, meeting our standard of living. Mm-hmm. So we're going to change it.
Yeah.
And be the nicest version we possibly can of our way of living. Which could be a fucking million miles away from this book.
Yeah.
That, let's be fair, no one really knows what the fuck it is anyway.
And that's a fair point. It's all...
I think if people have a religion, I think in a lot of ways, I think you're lucky.
It's a good thing for me.
I think you're lucky. But for me, it's just like, I wish I had a religion.
Yeah. Well, it's like little things.
I look at them all, I'm thinking, it's a fucking cult. I can't get behind it. But I do believe in God. I believe in the architect of existence.
Yeah.
But it's like just by looking around, just by nothing to do with people. It's more to do with the world and whatnot.
Well, I mean, I feel like you can look at it however you want. Like, you don't have to be a churchgoer and you don't have to read the word. If you believe in God, then you're like, hey, I can kind of have some thoughts and I can speak to them in my head in a way about things and then see what happens.
Exactly.
And it's good for your inner self, at least to feel like you have that, a presence that's guiding you.
Yeah, because you can see with everything that humans touch, they corrupt it.
Yeah.
And I have no doubt that religion is... I mean, look at, historically speaking, most deaths are caused by religion. Mm-hmm. Even today, you've got, it's a holy war, blah, 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 and off they go. That's all they need. And they're fanatical. And it's like, I want nothing to do with any of that.
There are plenty of religions.
But it can happen in everything. It happens in sport. Look at soccer now, for example. It's getting destroyed by all this bullshit. And fucking horse people then are...
Horse people everywhere.
The same. Like,
I mean, shit.
Some of them just don't know when to stop. But it's, like I said, I think it's good. Everything has its yin and yang, you know.
Yeah.
There's the good side of religion and then there's the fucking dark bad side. But it's nothing to do with the religion per se. It's the application by the person.
Yeah.
Of their belief of it.
And that's the thing, because there's plenty of things I don't agree with that other people believe, which is fine. I wouldn't criticize them for that. But
like the moon landing.
Yeah. That's a whole new thing. Which there are documentaries on that are pretty interesting as well.
It's a crock of shit, I think. No way did they go to the moon.
Yeah, and I mean, I wouldn't disagree. So it's interesting, but like I said, the religion thing, it can be what you will. It's like you saying, hey, I have a dog, and it's some inner peace to me that I'm taking care of this dog. It's like, hey, I can kind of have somebody I talk to, and then I can kind of see some things happen that I believe could be connected.
It's good. I mean, my go-to stance would be, I'd like to think that everyone is doing their best.
Yeah.
To be the best that they can be and to contribute on a positive place. I mean, when you have a corrupt media globally, of course you're going to get nothing but the bad news. But I mean, you just go for a walk and you see the good stuff.
Yeah.
You see it everywhere.
Yeah.
There's plenty of it.
Look around.
You meet. The vast majority of people I meet, they're great people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everyone has their little quirks, but that's great. They should do.
Yeah.
Be quirky.
It is. I enjoy it too. And having a respect for everyone and kind of burning no bridge along the way.
Yeah.
It's.
Well,
I mean,
some bridges need to be bombed.
And
by only the few.
That is fair too. There's plenty of people you want to run away from, and you can see it, like you said, quick, very quick, and you're like, I'm good there, and
either run at them or run away from them.
Exactly. I'd prefer to run away just because I don't want the conflict. I'm like,
because then you don't know. There's a lot of uncertain fucking repercussions. That you just, I never knew that would happen.
Yeah, and now you're dealing with something deeper that you wanted to avoid in the first place.
You're caught in a trap, You're caught in quicksand, and with people that have nothing to do with it.
Yeah. So why waste your time when there's...
That's why you shouldn't get married. Because divorce is part of that story.
Yeah.
More often than not. Look at the stats. For the love of God, people, stop getting married.
No.
Until you're ready.
My dad's been married 3 times, and my girlfriend's mom's been married 3 times. So why do you think I have the beliefs I do? I mean, that's like...
Well, there you go. I mean, I'm all for saying get married when you're 60 or 70, if you still feel inclined to do so.
Yeah.
Because then you know who you are. They should know who they are. Some people will never know who they are.
No.
This Blackbird was performed in front of a live audience.
Oh, with an alarm too. No, we had a live audience, but this has been fun, and I think we could probably do it again. I'll be here for some time, so